For last week, I was calling this the June of Doom for the at one point 0-9 Tigers in the month of June. They turned that around pretty dramatically. Uh, they've won 4 of the last 5. They've scored 5+ runs in 8 of the last 9 games, which is kind of remarkable considering how offensively challenged they've been for the last 2 years. They're still amongst the lowest in OPS and runs scored in the league. They just won a series in Minnesota, which is usually a house of horrors. Even more remarkable, they won it with such a depleted starting rotation that they actually had not one but 2 bullpen days, and they won those games. It's crazy. When I saw that how the rotation was going to work out, I thought it was going to be a twin sweep for sure, but didn't work out that way. Tigers took 3 out of 4. They actually beat Sonny Gray and Joe Ryan, making it that much more remarkable because they rarely fare well against those two. Really, what's happened with the offense, at least, is Kerry Carpenter came back from injury, some left-handed pop. Matt Vierling came off the IL, brief IL stint, although he's been back. He didn't come. He was supposed to be back tonight. He had a back issue again, but so I'm not sure what's going on with him. But there's at least some left-handed pop coming back after the absence of Riley Green. Part of the offensive renaissance, believe it or not, has to do with Miguel Cabrera.
I saw you had a home run.
Yeah, I'll take another L. As I was in my offseason to-do list, I was asking for the Tigers to buy him out of this last season so he wouldn't be playing at all. He's had a fantastic June. He's hitting 343 for the month. His OPS is just below 1,000, which is just incredible. He's got several doubles. He did hit the 1 home run, which was awesome to see. So I was way off on that. Not way off, but it's
no. I mean, I think in the end, it wouldn't have been a bad thing if that happened. But at least
it's a cruel. It was heartless and cruel for me to do that. It's been so much fun to watch him have this much fun on this farewell tour. We've made fun of the farewell gifts, but he's loving all of it. And to have a month that has turned out this well for him, I couldn't have seen. I don't think anyone saw this coming. It's still low on the power rankings, but still, if he's coming close to 1,000 OPS over the month, that's not bad. He's still fairly limited. He's only played in 11 games in the month, but still, that's a decent sample size that I'll run with for now. But that was just part of the fun. What's interesting again with our fucking terrible divisions, the Tigers find themselves in 3rd place, only 4 games out now, and again they're facing the Royals. They should be able to sweep this series in Detroit. Then they've got the Twins again, and this time it's in Detroit. So I mean, it's right there. Of course, the Guardians are sitting there in 2nd place, 2 games ahead of the Tigers. So I would think probably sooner than later we will see the Guardians in 1st place. But if all miracles of miracles happen, if the Tigers have a really good week somehow and weekend, maybe they find themselves in 1st.
I mean,
ridiculous, but
it's the reason I was declaring a huge, loss on my part that the Sox would be in 1st place by the 16th of this month. Because
I called you out on that cruelly on social media.
But they were trending up just like Detroit is now, and that's all you need. You need to win, you win 5-6 games in a row in this division.
Yeah, you're right.
You
there.
could be in 1st place,
and then you lose 5 or 6, and you're shit again. So
or not even, but you're not even shit in the division.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that in a second. But and I mean, it just goes back to, shouldn't we just all be sellers at the end of the day? But whatever.
Yeah, it will.
There's you guys less of, because you have young. You have more young controllable talent there, but
there's some. There's definitely some trade candidates.
You have trade candidates. The Sox have trade candidates, and I almost believe with some of the candidates on both sides, you could still be competitive in the fucking division and trade the guys away and get good guys back. So
I think, I mean, with all of our teams in such weird divisions, I think we're gonna have like we're literally not gonna be able to have deep conversations about that, what to do one way or the other
until
until the
July
end of
4th.
July. Yeah, well, yeah, for July 4th, but I think it's got another month, the end of July before we can really talk about it.
Yeah,
Some other good news, potentially for the Tigers down the road here is we've got Turek Skubal. I think this is his third rehab start
I
in
read
AAA
that.
Toledo is tomorrow
Yeah.
night. He's been mowing him down. Followed Thursday night by Matt Manning, who's recovering from I think it was a broken foot, is what sidelined him earlier this season. And believe it or not too far behind those two could be Eduardo Rodriguez, recovering from the A4 pulley rupture of his left index finger.
What's weird is
Uh,
our elevator is out in the building with the same injury. So
that's trouble. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, fortunately, it seems to be the least serious of versions of that injury because he's already on a rehab program, so he might only be a few weeks away. It's possible Scooble could be back next week, and I think Manning could be back the week after that. So a severely depleted rotation might get some of the best reinforcements you could imagine. So I don't know. As negative as I was last week, it's crazy how positive I feel right now. Of course, that could all go down the drain if they lose this game tonight to Kansas City. So that's what on a razor's edge these our emotions are for this season of this bizarre and Central race.
Word Hole Media.